Well, episode 5 wraps up our first week of Love is Blind. The honeymoons come to an end, and we are headed back home next week for 4 more episodes. My head is spinning after these first 5 episodes. Like last season, I feel like we had Lauren and Cameron, and we all just fell in love with them, and they were the greatest couple ever, and they're still together, and just right from that, like that energy, like it doesn't matter that we had Mark and Jessica and their total debacle, or Gigi and Damien, who were just ran hot and cold all season. We had that one beacon of hope that carried us through season 1, and I really feel like that is lacking this time around. We got a little bit of a mess on our hands with pretty much everybody. We'll start with Danielle and Nick. Nick comes back from the party where everybody was getting drunk, and Danielle is not happy. She confronts him, when he's not done anything wrong. Like, he's not done anything. Like, she's freaking out at him, talking about how she was sitting in the closet crying, and how was this man supposed to know? He had no clue. And they could have had a conversation beforehand, where Danielle said, hey, I'm not really comfortable with you going to this thing for 3 hours. Would you mind coming and checking on me halfway through? Or whatever. Even ask him not to go. But that's not what happened. We just get the reaction afterwards, and it wasn't good. They wake up the next morning. Seems like everything's fine. But most often in these situations, these fights, these issues are going to come back up again later. On top of that, we've got a potential cat and dog situation going on where Danielle has a cat, Nick has a dog, and Nick is not too confident that his dog is going to like her cat. Yeah, and like this is just like another small example of basically Danielle being like, she is an overthinker. You can see it. It's what led to the issues at the start of the episode. She's in her head. She's always worried about the bad thing that can happen. She's worried about Nick cheating. She's worried about him finding other girls more attractive than her. She's in her head about everything. And, this cat and dog situation, they can totally figure it out. But instead, let's just assume the worst and go from there. Because that's kind of how Danielle seems to be viewing things right now. And I really hope that she can get over that and fully commit to Nick, fully trust him. But in just 4 weeks, that might not happen. So interested to see where they end up going from here, but a rocky way to end their honeymoon and move. I think they're moving to Chicago. I could be wrong there, but yeah, so back to Chicago. Next up, Natalie and Shane. I really do not like how Shane jumps on Natalie for basically being positive in the wrong way. Like for joking incorrectly. They seem like a couple that kind of feeds off each other and being goofy, being silly. But the moment that Natalie goofs around in the wrong way or does something in the wrong way, Shane just jumps on her, and it just kind of feeling like it's Shane's way or the highway. It's and like it doesn't help the situation where it's hard to tell when he's just talking and when he's getting a little heated. I'm the same way. I'm a very loud person, And, I'll get in situations where someone thinks I'm raising my voice at them, and I'm just talking normally. I understand that, but still, you have to be able to recognize those situations and pull back, because the way the person you're connecting with, you're interacting with, how they perceive the situation is how they perceive the situation. You don't get to choose how they perceive that situation. So going to need to be something that Shane probably just needs to work on, just in general, moving forward. Next up, Mallory and Salvador. We saw at the end of the last episode, Salvador basically saying that he didn't think Mallory was attracted to him and that he was ready to be done with the relationship. Wake up the next day and it seems like everything is fine. They go and have this romantic date. Salvador almost gets killed by, I don't even know what that was that fell on him. Like, it was like the whole setup behind him just collapsed and kind of landed right on top of him. He was fine, but once again, just kind of gets in the way of them really getting into these probably conversations that neither of them want to have. They do move into the apartment and sit down to talk about things right at the end of the episode, but no real progress is made there. And like, if you're Salvador, of course you're thinking about the conversation with Jarrett and Mallory. Of course it bothers you that, basically they were talking about how he bought Mallory the wrong ring. And Mallory's trying to say, oh no, I love my ring. Well, that's not what you were saying to Jarrett. And, that's, I don't know, just it's a weird situation. Feels like just already too many problems for this couple to have a happy ending. Ayanna and Jarrett, like, Ayanna was someone who already had trust issues, and then we have the Jarrett and Mallory situation that is just going to immediately test that. I want to be really confident and happy about this couple. I want them to be great together, but right now they are just not. I don't know how Jarrett repairs his image in Ayanna's eyes, because he did betray that trust a little bit. Like, even though nothing happened between Jarrett and Mallory, that was something that was looming over them when the proposal happened, and now is going to continue looming over that relationship moving into the apartments. Deepti and Shake, I don't like watching her being all in when Shake is not. I think that he definitely took steps forward in this episode. Kind of seems like he's slowly changing his ways, but we only got 4 weeks here. So I don't know if that's enough time for him to get there for a wedding. I think it's enough time for him to get to a point where he says, yes, I want to keep being in a relationship with Deepti, but I don't know if that relationship is marriage. Lastly, Kyle and Shayna, they make an appearance right at the end here. And I get the impression that Shayna wants Kyle to not want the relationship to work. She wants Kyle to be negative about the relationship so that she can justify breaking up or calling it off. And then we get hit with the bombshell at the end that Shayna still wants Shane. She still wants to go after Shane, and we are going to see that probably next week in one of the 4 episodes, them sitting down together and seeing what happens. It's an interesting season, an interesting first 5 episodes. Excited to see what happens with our couples this season, but I'm not too confident in anybody right now. You know, there's no couple that I'm feeling like, oh yeah, they're gonna make it. Like, I feel like everybody's got their issues right now. And yeah, like we could have an 0 for 6 season, which would kind of be sad because I think we still have 2 successful marriages from season 1. And yeah, not looking like this season is going to beat that. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap things up there. As always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we will see you later.